Check, check, check. Dowagiac Chieftain basketball on WGTO Radio 910 AM and 101.1 FM is brought to you by Bateman Barbers. 10 years and still the king of cuts. Located at the corner of Front and Division. Stop in, say hello, and thanks for supporting the Dowagiac Chieftains. Judd Lumber and Rental Center, 101 Robinson Street. For over 150 years, Judd has been a trusted name for all your building needs and services. Stop in our showroom. Look us up on Facebook or call 782-5134. Judd Lumber and Rental Center. Dowagiac IT 146 South Front Street on Dowagiac Mall is your computer, surveillance, cell phone, sales, and service. Keeping it local with senior and tribal discounts. Dowagiac IT3 is still your friend in this ever-changing world of technology. Call them today at 269-462-9040 or online at dowagiacit3.com. Honor Credit Union, 56337 M51 South. Auto, home, and business loans at all-time low rates. Open a 12 to 16 month CD with as little as $500, or transfer an existing credit card balance for an Honor Visa card and get up to $100 cash back. Restrictions apply. Stop by Honor Credit Union and you see the difference of what a credit union can do for you. 269-782-7900. Honor Credit Union, bringing you Dowagiac Chieftain basketball on WGTO. Go Chieftains. Creative Vinyl Signs at 54950 M51 North, serving Dowagiac and the surrounding areas. They have not only banner signs, lettering, but also engraved signs, magnetic signs, decals, business cards, custom designs, and graphics. Creative Vinyl Signs, 269-782-2833, or check out our email at creativevinylsigns@yahoo.com. Wishing the Chieftains a #1 season for 2015 and 2016. WGTO Oldies Radio and the Dowagiac Chieftains wish to thank all of the sponsors who took time to sign up for the 2015 and 2016 Dowagiac sports season. Be sure to visit our fine sponsors and let them know without them we could not bring you Dowagiac sports. And welcome in, everyone. This is Casey from WGTO Radio AM 910 FM 101.1 and on the internet worldwide at WGTOradio.com. Out on WGTOradio.com, you can check out all of our previous video and audio. If you click on the Dowagiac Sports section, there are some videos, including some audio provided by myself and the football broadcast crew of Sean Williamson and Pat Bakeman. Thanks for jumping on tonight. We have an absolute great game for you planned today. The 11-2 Dowagiac Chieftains will go against the 10-1 South Haven Rams. This is a makeup game from early on this year. Fortunately, there was a little bit of a weather situation, and so we could not play that game here in Dowagiac. But we are glad that you are here. We are home tonight in Dowagiac, the Chieftains of Dowagiac, going against the South Haven Rams. South Haven, like I said already, comes into this competition tonight 11-1. Their only loss was faced up against the Stevensville Lakeshore Lancers on December 8th, 2015, where they lost 68-47. Since then, they've had wins over Sturgis, which was the second game of the year, 38-34. As you know, that was one of the games that we did fall short on and lose to, as well as the Stevensville Lakeshore Lancers. We fell short just last week. South Haven has also had wins over Edwardsburg 74-67, including Plainwell 64-57. And of course, they've beaten a few of the other teams in the Wolverine Conference. Tonight, this is the matchup. This is the Wolverine Conference. It is the matchup that dowagiac, I'm sure, absolutely is looking for to define who they are as a basketball team. Find out with that measuring stick and hold it up to their team and find out, hey, are we ready to take that next level? I had an interesting opportunity to watch Coach Danum Hunt in an interview just not long ago. He said, hey, it's time to turn the corner. And if you talk to Coach Hunt, or if you're around Coach Danum Hunt very long, you will note that he does very methodically talk about the first part of the year, talk about what it takes to be a great team, and then looks into the second part of the year as the time that we turn the corner, or that they turn the corner, the Chieftains of dowagiac, looking to the playoffs. So tonight we are excited about this type of matchup. The South Haven Rams freshman and JV teams against the dowagiac Chieftain freshman and JV teams fell short, as dowagiac's freshman and JV team once again victorious tonight. Just finished with a great JV game, including a couple dunks by a notable player that we're going to watch for coming on the rest of this year and next year. There's a few players on the JV squad. In fact, why don't we just go ahead and give you some information. Donzel Reed, Quantrell Scott, Seth Northrop, Logan Thies, Jaden Smith, Christian Horton, Drew Vicus, Caleb Murphy, who threw down a flush at the JV level here just a few moments ago. Matthew Collette, Zach Johnson, and Roy Payne. Looking forward to seeing these young men step into the varsity realm next year. It's never too late to start looking into the future. Coach Danum Hunt has a conscious effort of building up a program, and he's done a great job, as just the last week had gotten his 100th win on the road over in Sturgis, Michigan. Had a great opportunity to talk to Coach Hunt. Hopefully you got a chance to hear that interview. We're going to take a quick timeout ourselves. We'll be back for the starting lineup of tonight's contest, the tip-off in South Haven basketball against your dowagiac Chieftains here on WGTO. We'll be back here in just a little while.
AM 910, FM 101, WGTL, Cassopolis, Dowagiac, Niles. WGTO, Cassopolis, Niles, South Bend, AM 910, FM 101. For over 50 years, Osra Equipment and Supply Company has been a leader in selling agricultural equipment in Southwest Michigan, right here in Dowagiac at 30155 Yaw Street. They are now a full-line servicing dealer of Husqvarna outdoor power equipment. Everything you need for your lawn or garden is now in one location. Need to get your leaves in a pile? Well, they've got a pile of leaf blowers in stock at Osra Equipment and the premixed fuels and oils you need to run them. Right now, but for a limited time, purchase a new qualifying gas chainsaw or gas blower and receive a limited edition hat, 3 cans of Husqvarna XP premixed fuel, and an additional 2-year warranty for a total of 4 years. Think you'll get a better deal at a big box store? Well, you need to think again, because they also service what they sell, and they keep a large inventory of parts that fit your needs. So stop down and give them a try. Located at the end of Yaw Street past the ball fields, or turn north on California Road off M62. Call 782-7178. Osra Equipment, cheering on the Chieftains for football and basketball. dowagiac IT3 at 146 South Front Street in beautiful downtown Dowagiac is your one-stop for all your computer needs, questions, repairs, and service. They offer a wide range of surveillance services, products, installations, and more at prices you can't afford. dowagiac IT3, also a distributor and agent for many cell phone providers. Check out the new Red Pocket mobile system, pay-as-you-go plan starting at $29.95, and all are unlimited talk and text. So let's review here. Computers, surveillance, cell phones, sales, service, plans, and advice. Seems dowagiac IT3 has you covered with all your electronic needs and services. Tribal and senior discounts, and you still have the same courteous staff to serve you. dowagiac IT3. They're your friends in the computer and surveillance business. dowagiac IT3, 146 South Front Street. Call 269-462-9040. Check out our website for links to the WGTO Weather Eye provided by dowagiac IT3. If you measure success by longevity, then Judd Lumber Building Supply and Rental Center should be right on top. Dowagiac was 11 years old, not even a village, when in 1859, Judd Lumber was there to help build what we now call a city. Still at 101 Robinson Street, Judd offers building supplies, rental equipment, and a great knowledgeable staff to serve you. Have events planned, reunions, weddings, or something outside? See them first for your tents, tables, chairs, or even a bouncy house. How was your winter last year? Warm enough? Maybe it's time to check out the insulation in your attic, and then check out the prices at Judd before you get caught out in the cold this year. From do-it-yourselfers to major contractors, see Judd Lumber for all your project needs, whether it's nails, tarps, tools, decks, kitchens, bathrooms, paints, brushes, sprayers, heating and cooling, and electrical. Call 269-782-5134 or visit the showroom at 101 Robinson Street. Like us on Facebook and visit online at www.juddlumber.com. Judd Lumber, proud sponsors of Dowagiac Chieftains.
And back live here in the Jack, Dowagiac Chieftain Gymnasium. We're going to go silent here as we prepare for tonight's contest and the national anthem played by the Dowagiac Chieftain Pep Band. We've got ourselves tonight a good-looking crowd here in Dowagiac. It looks like the faithful Dowagiac Chieftains are out in masses and numbers tonight. This ought to be an awesome matchup. We watched the freshman JV games here at the beginning of the night, and it does appear from what we've seen last year and also this year that the Chieftains of Dowagiac are very similarly styled stylistically in how they play basketball against the South Haven Rams. They seem to want to get up and down the court, push the break, man-to-man defense. Should be an exciting matchup. The South Haven Rams starting lineup will be Jerome Mahone. He is a senior guard, 5'10". Spencer Adams, the 5'11 senior guard. Also, number 44, Armani May. And number 55, Deshaun Palmer, the 6'3" forward junior. Looks like size-wise we should match up pretty good tonight. The Chieftains of Dowagiac will start Harry Reed. They are also looking to start Brandon Winchester Jones, Danum Hunt, Keontae Blackamore, and it looks like Deontay Sullivan. They will be your starting five for tonight in this South Haven Rams Wolverine Conference Dowagiac Chieftain matchup. Dowagiac comes out onto the court tonight dressed in their home white, orange shoes trimmed in black Under Armour. Jerseys are all white, orange trim with a black stripe. South Haven Rams in purple tonight. Gathered together in their huddles. Both teams last minute conversations about how to go forward. A lot of unity right now from South Haven as they gather together themselves, trying to muster up that unity. This is going to be a great matchup, folks. Excited about calling this game. We're glad that you're on tonight, wherever you may be. If you're in the Southwest Michigan area, glad that you've jumped on 910 AM, 101.1 FM, or if you're down on the internet, WGTOradio.com, or on your smart device, thank you for jumping in, listening to your kids here of Dowagiac play. Referee with the ball, whistle in the air, tip, back tip, out of bounds. Looks like it was touched by the South Haven Ram. So it'll be Dowagiac ball to start this contest tonight. Winchester Jones will start it out on the left side as South Haven jumps into that man-to-man defense. He'll be picked up by Spencer Adams. They work the ball inside. Underneath Blackamore. A foul and the basket's good. Right away they jump it down to Blackamore inside. Down on that low block. He had some magic. Initially was blocked but then went right back up into the air with the putback, and he drops it in for two in the foul. He'll be at the line for the three-point play 15 seconds into this contest. Dowagiac looking to play big tonight, trying to get it inside once again as Blackamore finishes that three-point play. 3-0 to start this game, and South Haven turns it over on the inbounds pass. Dowagiac with the ball. Sullivan, he loses the handle, gets a bump, but no call on the foul. Number 55 on a fast break, all the way down to Sean Palmer. Ball very quickly up the court. We've got very similar styles. It's going to be a fast game. Sullivan all the way back down the other way. The ball gets blocked. Sullivan looks up and says, hey, where's the foul? But no foul called as South Haven able to recover the rebound. And here's a steal by Dowagiac. Blackamore went up for the flush, misses. South Haven with the right rebound, and they're going to come back down and work their offense. They drop it on the low block. Armani May kick out, inside-outside game. Spencer Adams, right side. They rotate it around the left side. Pick up their guard, Jerome Mahone. Over to Adams. Down to Armani May. Back outside, top of the key. Hedges. Backdoor cut by Deshaun Palmer for two. Nice play. Dowagiac way back down in the court. Blackamore drops it off the glass for two. Too fast. 5-4 early on. Dowagiac with the lead. 6:30. First quarter. Dowagiac in that full court press. South Haven able to break it down. Here's a bounce pass inside. And a block by Sullivan. Picked up by South Haven. And another block by Sullivan. Dowagiac now on the break. Sullivan pulls it back. Hands it off to Harry Reed. Top of the key. Swings around to Hunt for three. Good. Splash. Jamin Hunt, 3. 8-4. 6 minutes first quarter. Game just underway, and we've got ourselves an up-and-down game again. Dowagiac once again, 2-2-1 press. Now they drop back into man-to-man press as South Haven's cross the timeline. Adams, they rotate the ball around. And we've got a violation as the ball gets thrown out of bounds. Dowagiac with that press. South Haven not able to handle it. We've got some mics down on the court side tonight. Hopefully you'll get some of that action as you can hear the coaches calling out the play. Here's a play, three-point shot by Harry Reed, misses, no. Backside of the rim, picked up by May. Check that, it's Palmer. Palmer, who now has the ball past the timeline, goes all the way in with the left hand, good. Palmer, long arms, listed at 6'3", but he's lanky and quick. He's going to be tough if he can use those long arms to extend that ball past the defender tonight. Winchester Jones left side on the weave. They drop it off to Blackamore. Blackamore skip court pass, Jamin Hunt. He looks at the three, no, pulls it back down, hands it off to Harry Reed, top of the key. Harry Reed now drives to the lane, kick out to Blackamore. He goes by his guy, goes up and then flushes it down on top of the head of James Hedges for two. Slam-a-jam, and that puts the entire crowd on their feet. South Haven right back down on the court, and they throw the ball out of bounds and they get back to the Chieftains. Wow. I tell you, that was an impressive dunk by Blackamore. He went up over the top of the defender, down that baseline from the three-point line, and flushed one down. Here's Harry Reed for three. Back rim, no. Ball rolls out of bounds. Last touch by South Haven. Check that. They're going to say it was off the hands of Jamin Hunt. That'll be back to South Haven, 10-6 early on, 4:33. Exciting contest. It was going to be exciting. I knew when we walked into this gymnasium tonight, and it's certainly provided a great atmosphere. We got a kick ball on the Chieftains. The ball goes out of bounds. It'll be back to the Rams. They got baseline out here as they trigger it in. Armani May, they drop it down to Armani May on that inbounds pass. And Blackamore comes over the top and fouls. Blackamore does a very good job, Keontae, of controlling his body and ensuring that he doesn't get in there and foul. He needs to be careful tonight going up against these bigs from South Haven. Floater missed. No, putback is there by Armani May. The 6'3" senior inside. And here's a steal by South Haven on the fast break all the way down. Spencer Adams off the glass for two. South Haven ties up the game 10-10. Dowagiac right back down on their fast break. And we got a hack on the arm and a foul. Hard foul on James Hedges. Perhaps reminiscent of that dunk he just got thrown down on. Said not this time. Comes up and hits Deontay Sullivan on the elbow. Deontay Sullivan at the line to shoot a pair at 4 minutes in, halfway through the first quarter. We're knotted up at 10. Sullivan at the line makes good on the first. We'll have another one coming. Right now, once again, we've got ourselves an up and down game outside of the free throws. It's been nonstop action tonight. Sullivan misses the second one. South Haven there with the rebound. Fast break. James Hedges off the glass. Misses. No. Picked up by Blackamore. Tries to throw it over the top. Ball gets tipped around and finally goes out of bounds. And they're going to say back to dowagiac. Head coach Larry Ash giving his defense from South Haven a hand on that play. As dowagiac now sets the offense up. Brandon Winchester-Jones, top of the key, left-handed, drops it down to Blackamore. Up and under, not there, ball poked away. Harry Reed now, top of the key, three-point line. Dribbles past his guy, drops it off to Sullivan at the three-point line, drives baseline. Nobody steps into the lane, he throws it in, and nobody's there. South Haven, ball poked away, out of bounds. Brandon Winchester-Jones let his guy go bound him, and then circles back around, pokes the ball away, goes out of bounds. dowagiac with that 1 point lead, 11-10 early on. We've got a whistle and a stoppage of play. Looks like they're going to catch underneath. Armani May banging it up with Keontae Blackamore. They're going to say loose ball foul. Adrian Bucamore will be checking into the game as Deontay Sullivan will come out and get a nice hand from his home crowd. dowagiac now with the ball back into play. Brandon Winchester-Jones. He'll be picked up by Spencer Adams. A very quick Spencer Adams. They bring over the double team in the trap, and he rolls right by. There's a switch there as Deshaun Palmer comes out on Winchester-Jones. Leroy Lewis back in the game as well. Drops it off to Winchester-Jones. Drills baseline, gives it up to Adrian Moore with a chip shot good. Nice play as Winchester-Jones opens up that middle lane, draws the double team on that baseline, and hands it right back off to Adrian Moore for the chip shot. Now dowagiac in that press. Underneath. May misses South Haven. Armani goes back up into the air and he's traveling. Check, that's Palmer who got the rebound. That long arm Palmer got the rebound and he was on the spin move. Took a little hop with it and they got him with the travel. 13-10 dowagiac with a 3-point lead. Harry Reed at the baseline. He'll kick it into Winchester Jones. He's going to be picked up by Spencer Adams once again. Winchester Jones dribbles back left, drops it off to Blackamore at the three-point line to Leroy Lewis. Leroy Lewis gets a pick from Bucamore. Lewis all the way down inside, drops it back off for a cutting. Blackamore, good. A couple nice back double screens there as Dowagiac able to take advantage. Ball thrown over into the corner, almost picked off by Dowagiac. Spencer Adams does pick it up, hands it off to Wilkins. It's Palmer, back to Wilkins. Chris Herrera checking in for the South Haven Rams. Here's a three-point shot, no, passed off. Wilkins, Herrera, back to Wilkins, pulls up at the elbow, misses, no. Big rebound by Blackamore, hands it off to Harry Reed. Harry Reed right side. Shakes, drops it underneath. Bucamore all alone. Ball goes high off the glass. Somebody might have got a piece of the ball there. No good as the Rams come back down on their fast break. Miss. Rebound, fast break, two-hand flush. Blackamore. And we've got a timeout on the court. Larry Ash, the head coach for the South Haven Rams, calls timeout on the fast break as Blackamore hung on the rim a little bit. Could have got called for the technical, but he goes down for the two-hand flush. Man, we've got an exciting game tonight. We'll be back here in just a moment on WGTO.
Southwest Michigan's classic hits, 9:10 a.m., 101 FM, WGTO Cassopolis. WGTO Cassopolis Niles South Bend, AM 910, FM 101.
And back here in Dowagiac is the Chieftains of Dowagiac right now on a little bit of a run. Lead 17-10, 1:30 left to go in the first quarter. South Haven Rams forced to call a timeout after that fast break as they set up their offense. Here's a drive penetration, hook shot, and a miss by Mahoney. Dowagiac with the rebound. Leroy Lewis, crossover, drops it off for Bucamore on the wing for three. Good. Bucamore, Adrian for three. South Haven with the ball. The Rams break down that press. Trying to set up their offense. Here's Paul. Check that. That's Wilkins. Goes baseline, gets a whistle, a foul, and the basket is good. Wilkins. Be at the line with a three-point play. Dowagiac leads with just under a minute to play, 20-14. That's number 25, Joe Wilkins, the guard, 5'10" junior guard at the line to complete the three-point play. Basket's good. Bucamore pushes ahead to Reed. Reed sees the opening, drops it off to Winchester Jones, back to Bucamore at the elbow. Back on the wing to Blackamore. Top of the key. Now they're going to reset the offense as Winchester Jones crosses over. They work it around on the wing to Reed. Harry Reed, Winchester Jones. 25 seconds. Harry Reed for three.
Got it.
Good. Harry Reed, three. 23-15, 15 seconds. South Haven Rams on the fast break. Give and go. Good passing underneath. Number 44, Amani May, able to break down the press. 10 seconds. Harry Reed with 7 seconds at the full court line. And here's a steal. Off the glass to finish the first quarter. 2 points. Joe Wilkins. Man, what a great matchup tonight. Harry Reed probably should have gave that ball up as he tries to bring it down the court. Take that last shot. We're going to take a timeout ourselves. We'll be back here in just a moment.
For over 50 years, Osra Equipment and Supply Company has been a leader in selling agricultural equipment in Southwest Michigan, right here in dowagiac at 30155 Yaw Street. They are now a full-line servicing dealer of Husqvarna outdoor power equipment. Everything you need for your lawn or garden is now in one location. Need to get your leaves in a pile? Well, they've got a pile of leaf blowers in stock at Osra Equipment and the premixed fuels and oils you need to run them. Right now, but for a limited time, purchase a new qualifying gas chainsaw or gas blower and receive a limited edition hat, 3 cans of Husqvarna XP premixed fuel, and an additional 2-year warranty for a total of 4 years. Think you'll get a better deal at a big box store? Well, you need to think again, because they also service what they sell, and they keep a large inventory of parts that fit your needs. So stop down and give them a try. Located at the end of Yaw Street past the ball fields, or turn north on California Road off M62. Call 782-7178. Osra Equipment, cheering on the Chieftains for football and basketball.
And back here in dowagiac at the Jack here of the Chieftains' home court. Nice steal and a little bit of a run there. South Haven Rams able to finish that first quarter. dowagiac leads 23-19 to start the second quarter. South Haven with the ball. At the elbow, up and underneath, blocked by Leroy Lewis. Picked up by Blackamore as they push the ball ahead to Brendan Winchester Jones. Back to Leroy Lewis. Leroy Lewis crossover, drops off to Blackamore on the right side. Now they reset the offense, top of the key, Winchester Jones. Brandon with the ball. He goes right side, then goes back left side, drops it off to Blackamore, then to Adrian Bucamore, pulls up at the elbow. Good. Nice touch. Adrian Bucamore, he's got a nice shot. If he gets an open look, it just really seems to have eyes to the basket and falls right in. South Haven now with the ball. Here's a fast break. Chris Herrera throws the ball up to his counterpart Vincent Jeffries, but the ball rolls out of bounds. Back to dowagiac, 25-19. Winchester Jones hesitation into the baseline. Pulls out at the three-point line, shoots back rim. No, picked up by South Haven. Rams now, Armani May drops it off to Wilkins. Wilkins Joe, the one that night. 27-19, 6:35, second quarter. dowagiac on the press. In the steal, Adrian Bucamore running the break. Bounce pass inside, behind the back. Blackamore, and a foul. That right there, my friends, is what you call razzle-dazzle. That's basketball. Unselfish, inside, outside. Those passes were crisp, clean, no look. Knew exactly where their player was. And Blackamore was getting ready to go up for another flush. He'll be at the line for 2. Mac rim, no. 27-19, 6:24. This game is far from over. South Haven Rams have already proved they can get really hot really fast, and yet they are somewhat streaky at times too. Of course, dowagiac has proven to get out to a nice lead, but unfortunately at times have lost the lead throughout various competitions through this year. I'd like to see them 27-19 as Blackamore at the line, back rim, missing, no, can't complete the 2 shots. South Haven with the ball, crossover dribble, Mahoney drops it into his big down on the block, misses the shot though with good moves, takes it back up, ball bounces around 3 times, no, rebound, Deshaun Palmer, the long Deshaun Palmer gets the ball. And the ball goes out of bounds right here in front of us. It looks like it was touched by South Haven. Official sees it another way. So we'll be back to the Rams as Blackamore loses it behind his back. 27-21. Bucamore has a seat and he gets a nice hand from his home crowd as Deontay Sullivan checks into the game. On the court, Hunt, Sullivan, Blackamore, Winchester Jones, and Leroy Lewis. South Haven with the ball. Here's a long 3 by Mahoney. No, missed. Tracked down, though, by the Rams. dowagiac kind of let that ball flop around. The Rams picked it up. Here's another long 3 on the left side. No, misses. Winchester Jones will flag this rebound down. Dribbles left-handed, goes left-handed. into the lane. Kick out, Leroy Lewis all the way down, baseline, bounce pass, outside, long. Ball rolls around on the ground and finally goes out of bounds off of a South Haven Ram. It'll be back to the Chieftains. Coach Hunt calling out the play on this inbounds pass. It's Winchester Jones bounds by Sullivan. So it'll be back to the Rams. Hedges will kick it in, and the baseline does kick it in to Adams. Adams circles around to Wilkins, over the top to Mahoney, back to Adams. Check that Wilkins. Wilkins drops it down to Palmer on the block, but poked away by Blackamore. They forced to throw it way up top, almost threw the ball away. Here's a fake three and a dry penetration and a hard foul. Joe Wilkins went up. I think Sullivan initially got a hold of the ball. If he would have been able to maintain a hand on the ball, it would have been a jump ball, but his elbow came inside and popped Joe Wilkins upside the head, and that's going to be a foul violation as Wilkins will be at the line to shoot two. Dowagiac with the lead, 29-23. Wilkins at the line, makes good on the first. 3:50, second quarter. We can call that foul on number 10. That's Deontay Sullivan's first foul. That was Keontae Blackamore earlier that I said had one foul. He's actually got two fouls. Blackamore will receive the pass on the inbounds trigger up to Leroy Lewis. He gets trapped. Ball gets on the deck. Finally gets in the hands of Winchester Jones, who's able to dribble out of traffic. Dribble penetration out to Leroy Lewis for three. Good. Elevation shot. Splash. Ball is pushed ahead now. Mahoney inside. All the way down underneath the Deshaun Palmer. Worked that sideline. Was able to get a backdoor cut for 32-27. Leroy Lewis with the ball. One-on-one. Behind the back dribble. No. Bounce pass over to Winchester Jones. He's picked up man-on-man by Spencer Adams. Winchester Jones will scoot back and set up the offense. Hesitation, gives it up to Blackamore at the three-point line. Blackamore inside to Jamin Hunt in traffic. Ball up in the air, foul. Good cut by Jamin Hunt coming down the middle of that lane. Jamin Hunt in a traffic of South Haven Rams. Takes it up hard. Gets hacked on the arm. He'll be at the line to shoot two. Got to make good from the charity stripe here. We've already missed 3 free throws and made 2. Right now we're at 50% as Jamin Hunt drops that first one down. That's my thought here, 3 out of 6. As Jamin will have another one coming at the free throw line, the charity stripe here. Ball in air, bounces back, but back tipped by Blackamore. Good rebound. They work it around to Blackamore on the wing. Back to the top of the key to Leroy Lewis. Leroy Lewis with the ball. Dribble, kick out. Blackamore runs baseline, nothing there. Hunt, they work it around to Sullivan for 3. Off too hard. Back rim. South Haven comes all the way down, drops a shoulder in, draws contact, nothing called, no call, they're letting them play. Finally able to put it in. South Haven all the way back down the court was Dowagiac as Leroy Lewis took it in off the glass. Ball falls short, no foul called, 33-29. South Haven throws the ball away as it hits the line. It'll be back to the Chieftains. Officials kind of letting them play a little bit on the inside. Letting them bump up and down a little bit. Dowagiac with the ball on that turnover at 2 minutes left to go in the first half, 33-29. Leroy Lewis dribbles top of the key, drops it back, reverses it over to Winchester Jones. It goes into the lane. Off the glass, no. I thought he got hacked on the arm on through the shot, but no foul call. They are going to let him play tonight. Ball is blocked inside as Spencer Adams takes it in, but then stolen by the Rams off the Dowagiac steal. Right back, 33-31, 142. Leroy Lewis off the glass on the fast break for 2. 35-31. Long pass to Palmer. Palmer goes in on the block. Blackamore hits the deck. Nothing called. More like a flop than anything. Was trying to draw the charge. Palmer's able to bring it in. Winchester Jones spin off the glass. 2 missed. No, the tap is not there. The putback can't finish. Ball's out of bounds. Dowagiac with the ball. Saying last touch by the South Haven Rams. Blackamore tried to tip it in, couldn't grab a handle on it. Gets tipped around a couple times, finally goes out of bounds. We got ourselves a tight ball game, 35-33. Dowagiac up 2, 1:13 left to go in the half. Winchester Jones triggers it in on the baseline. Harry Reed, Bucamore, three-point line. Now working on top of the key. Here's a long three by Jamin Hunt. Off the mark, no. Picked up by South Haven with 1 minute left to go in the first half. South Haven with the ball. Joe Wilkins goes right, picked up by Winchester Jones. Bounce pass underneath. Almost picked off. Here's a fake three, though, by Adams as they kick it back out. Adams now will take the three on the give and go. Long rebound picked up by May, Armani May. Wilkins, top of the key, picked up by Harry Reed. Man to man. They work it over to Armani May. 35 seconds left to go. Here's a floater and a shot by Spencer Adams as there's a 35-35 tie. Harry Reed all the way down, floats one up, no. 20 seconds left to go. 35-35 as South Haven has the rebound. Inside, number 44, Armani May. Rams with the lead, 5 seconds. Bounce pass to Jamin Hunt. Jamin Hunt between the legs, 5 seconds. Winchester Jones with a long three at the buzzer. Oh, no. South Haven Rams will go into halftime leading 37-35 on a flurry of steals and runs. Like I said, folks, you do not want to turn the dial. We've got ourselves what they call a good old-fashioned barn burner of a basketball game here in Dowagiac. We're going to take another timeout here ourselves. We'll be back to break down the first half stats here as the Dowagiac Chieftains down 2 at half on WGTO. We'll be back.
If you measure success by longevity, then Judd Lumber Building Supply and Rental Center should be right on top. Dowagiac was 11 years old, not even a village, when in 1859, Judd Lumber was there to help build what we now call a city. Still at 101 Robinson Street, Judd offers building supplies, rental equipment, and a great knowledgeable staff to serve you. Have events planned, reunions, weddings, or something outside? See them first for your tents, tables, chairs, or even a bouncy house. How was your winter last year? Warm enough? Maybe it's time to check out the insulation in your attic, and then check out the prices at Judd before you get caught out in the cold this year. From do-it-yourselfers to major contractors, see Judd Lumber for all your project needs, whether it's nails, tarps, tools, decks, kitchens, bathrooms, paints, brushes, sprayers, heating and cooling, and electrical. Call 269-782-5134 or visit the showroom at 101 Robinson Street. Like us on Facebook and visit online at www.juddlumber.com. Judd Lumber, proud sponsors of Dowagiac Chieftains. Southwest Michigan's classic hits, 9:10 a.m., 101 FM, WGTO Cassopolis.
Cass County's local.
WGTO Cassopolis Style South Bend, AM 910, FM 101. For over 50 years, Osra Equipment and Supply Company has been a leader in selling agricultural equipment in Southwest Michigan, right here in Dowagiac at 30155 Yaw Street. They are now a full-line servicing dealer of Husqvarna outdoor power equipment. Everything you need for your lawn or garden is now in one location. Need to get your leaves in a pile? Well, they've got a pile of leaf blowers in stock at Osra Equipment and the premixed fuels and oils you need to run them. Right now, but for a limited time, purchase a new qualifying gas chainsaw or gas blower and receive a limited edition hat, 3 cans of Husqvarna XP premixed fuel, and an additional 2-year warranty for a total of 4 years. Think you'll get a better deal at a big box store? Well, you need to think again, because they also service what they sell, and they keep a large inventory of parts to fit your needs. So stop down and give them a try. Located at the end of Yaw Street past the ball fields, or turn north on California Road off M62. Call 782-7178. Osra Equipment, cheering on the Chieftains for football and basketball.
And we're back here in Dowagiac at the Jack here in Dowagiac, Michigan, as the Dowagiac Chieftains will head into halftime down by 2. We've had ourselves a great contest tonight. Let's get right to it, break down those first half stats, and then maybe talk about some keys to the second half. South Haven went on a flurry here. Brandon Winchester Jones with 2 points thus far, had some shots from the outside, had missed from behind the arc. Out of those misses, he's one out of 3 for 7. One of the 4 have missed. Check that. Dowagiac's 4 for 11 behind the arc. Winchester Jones has taken a few of those 3-point shots, has not been able to land anything, perhaps trying to get his shot going. But hey, you got to hand it to the speed of the South Haven Rams. They've been able to get in front of him a few times and double him up on those drive penetration kickouts. But it's also left Adrian Moore open, who's got a 3-point shot himself and finds himself a recipient of a couple nice dishes and assists by Brandon Winchester Jones. Adrian Moore coming off the bench with 7 points tonight in that first half. He's the second highest scorer, ties Leroy Lewis for the second highest scorer of the first half. Both Adrian and Leroy Lewis both with 7 points. Brandon Winchester Jones with 2. Harry Reed with 3, and Keontae Blackamore with 11. Deontay Sullivan on the board with a point himself. Right now, Dowagiac's only got 5 turnovers for the first half. That's pretty good considering we've been up and down tonight. They've missed a few layups on the inside. We've got 10 accounted for missed layups, but those are shots inside that we haven't been able to get the tips back in. We did outscore South Haven 23-19 in the first quarter, but South Haven went on a little bit of a run, outscored Dowagiac by 6, 18-12 in the second quarter, which gives South Haven that 2-point lead going into half, 37-35. Would not be surprised if you see Brandon Winchester Jones continue that aggressiveness, going inside to the basket, maybe dishing it off to some of his other players, getting them involved, or when that opportunity arises, go ahead and take it off the glass for the 2. He does typically get that first step against some of the opponents that he goes against, and Harry Reed himself has missed from the outside. I'm surprised that he's only going in with 3 points. Had a couple nice looks from the outside, just haven't been able to drop them. This is what we call a true test of where we're at. I knew it was going to be a great game going into this contest tonight, and we've got ourselves an absolute great game. I'm going to take a little break myself, to be honest with you. I've been a little bit under the weather, kind of trying to kick through it here. And I'm going to take a break. We'll be back here in just a moment for the second half on WGTO in about 5 minutes. We'll be back. And back here in Dowagiac, the Chieftains of Dowagiac find themselves starting this third quarter down by 2. About under a minute here to tip off, or to start off this third quarter. The Chieftains got their work cut out for them. The South Haven Rams came over to play tonight, and they're not looking to go home with another loss. They're wanting to go ahead and finish out top of this Wolverine Conference. Chieftains fighting to get on top of the Wolverine Conference themselves. Got a couple top-tier teams going at it tonight. And we've got ourselves a great matchup. I think I mentioned a little bit before the break there that, look for Dowagiac to get something going towards the basket, maybe some high percentage drive, penetration, kick out, take what's given to them. Blackamore doing a good job thus far on the inside, even with a couple nice slams. But also look for Harry Reid to perhaps get going. He goes into halftime with just 3 points. I would not be surprised if they set Harry Reid up a little bit more from the outside, let him get off behind that arc. He's got the ability to get hot. Not like he's in any kind of panic mode, but he does have that ability to get hot from the outside and drop in some threes. Here we go. The ball's into play as Dowagiac will start with possession. Winchester Jones will get the ball to start out. He's going to be picked up by Spencer Adams. Gets a pick from Blackamore. Blackamore gets a couple double screens underneath, and they try to drop it off to him, but the lane is closed, and so the South Haven Rams pick the ball up and right back down the court is Deshaun Palmer, not able to finish that shot, but does get his own rebound, then doesn't drop it back in. Dowagiac picks up that rebound. Harry Reid on the run now. He'll have ball handling responsibilities. Drops it off to Jamin Hunt. Jamin Hunt into the lane, pulls up at the elbow, gets hit on the arm, no call.
Wow, that hurt.
Dowagiac, though, picks up the steal on the inbounds pass. Or check that on the steal. Jamin Hunt tries again. No, not able to drop it in. Dowagiac had a couple rebounders there, but they're not able to crown the ball. Back to South Haven, back on the other side. Palmer drops the shoulder into Hunt. Hunt hits the deck, and we've got a charge. That's the second foul on Palmer. Jamin Hunt hits the deck. That's the first team foul of the half. As Winchester Jones will bring the ball up the court, Spencer Adams will pick him up at the timeline. Coach Hunt calling out the play. Winchester Jones patiently looking. Finally, Harry Reid comes over and gathers the ball. Top of the key, picked up Harry Reid by Jerome Mahoney. Drops it off to Deontay Sullivan. Back to Winchester Jones. Loses the handle for a moment. Falls in the hands of Blackamore. Blackamore to Jamin Hunt. Jamin Hunt gets bounced over the half-court line. Nothing called. Could have got called for over and back, but maybe Hedges got a piece of the ball. Here's a long three by Harry Reid. Wasn't really set. Ball's missed, poked around, picked up by Jamin Hunt inside. And here's a steal by the Chieftains. The Dowagiac Chieftains on the fast break inside. Deontay Sullivan on the glass too. Ball is tied. Game is tied at 37-37. Ball got poked around. The South Haven Rams had gotten it, but then the Dowagiac Chieftains recover on a steal. Mahoney with the ball. Winchester Jones will pick him up. Mahoney goes right side. Drops it off to Armani May. Back up top of the key to Hedges. Hedges picked up by Winchester Jones. Back around to the corner. Mahoney reverses it back. Top of the key. Hedges back to Mahoney. Now inside the lane. We got penetration, and the ball is picked off and pushed ahead. Dowagiac now on the break. Alley-oop opportunity off the glass. Good. Jamin Hunt to Blackamore off the glass on a nice alley-oop pass. And we got ourselves a timeout on the court. South Haven's going to take a 30-second timeout. We're going to stay right here as the action has intensified tonight. 39-37. Dowagiac with a 2-point lead, finding some success underneath. And the coach, Larry Ash, for the South Haven Rams, wanting to talk about it just a little bit. Kind of anticipated this is how we would start off that second half. A lot of excitement, up and down play. Once again, kind of how we started that first half out. Dowagiac thus far have been able to be successful on a couple of steals. The ball is so fast up and down. Trying to give you a picture of the action, folks. But, man, this ball is flying around the court. Don't blink, you'll miss this game. 39-37, 5:29 third quarter. South-Haven did call that timeout, so they will maintain possession as they trigger in Joe Wilkins. Wilkins now with the ball, brings it past the timeline. Danum Hunt will pick him up man-to-man once again for the Chieftains. Wilkins drops it off to Palmer, back top of the key to Adams as they get it down the wing. Number 25, Joe Wilkins works that baseline. It's closed off, though. Has to reverse it to the top of the key again to Spencer Adams. Mahoney, May, back to Adams. They try to drop it on the elbow. Dangerous pass. Palmer falls down. Ball gets poked around. Joe Wilkins finally picks it up for the South-Haven Rams. Goes right. Ball blocked from behind, though. Picked up, though, by Palmer, who goes back in off the glass for two. Nice play by dowagiac, but Palmer able to recover and get the ball right back into the court, into the off the glass. And dowagiac just threw the ball away, and South-Haven with a steal. Fast break off the glass. Rims out. No, big rebound. Like Wayne Winchester Jones and a couple of defenders of South-Haven just goes up and rips the ball down. Winchester Jones gets it out to Harry Reed, stops at the elbow, drops it and reverses it back to Winchester Jones, who drives in, kicks out to Jamin Hunt on the wing for three. Ball rims out, no. Picked up by May. Armani May now pushing up. Wilkins. Trim penetration. Mahoney off the glass. Good. Got a picking around a defender. And the South-Haven Rams take the lead once again, 41-39. Harry Reed with the ball. Mahoney on him. He drops it off to Jamin Hunt as they work that weave. Back to Winchester Jones, left side. Winchester Jones all the way in. Hits the deck and a whistle and a foul. He'll be at the line to shoot two. Went in and drew contact off of Spencer Adams. They're going to check that. He's going to be shooting two shots. That's only Spencer Adams' first personal foul. The senior guard, 5'11". If he's 5'11", Winchester Jones is 6'4". Going to stoppage of play. Looks like we're going to. The officials are talking a little bit here. They're gathering together. May have a little blood on the court or something.
What's the problem?
I think they're going to wipe up a wet spot on the floor. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They grabbed a couple of warm-ups. They're going to throw it down on the floor. We got a couple of slippages and fall down here on the left side, and so that's going to delay the game a little bit. Coach Hunt calling to the officials, hey, what's going on? Let's go, let's go. He likes to keep that fast pace going, keep that heart rate up, and that stoppage there just kind of slows the game down a little bit. Winchester Jones, he'll be at the line to tie the game at 41-39. Misses the first shot at 4 minutes in, halfway through the third quarter. Substitutions by South-Haven. Darian Gist will come in for Spencer Adams. Winchester Jones makes good on the second one. Now dowagiac down one as the South-Haven Rams now looking to get inside. Deshaun Palmer on the block, though, kicks it back out to the top to Wilkins. Ball gets loose on the deck. There's a couple South-Haven Rams on the deck. dowagiac's on the deck. We've got ourselves a jump ball situation. Possession will go back over to South-Haven once again. South-Haven nursing that 1 point lead. Lots of substitutions by the coach for South-Haven. It's interesting that the South-Haven Rams, and I think there's something to be said here about how they are substituting. One at a time, taking their time coming into the game. Here's a miss by South-Haven. The putback, no. The tip up is no good. Blackamore now comes down with the ball, gets it ahead to Leroy. Check that, Harry Reed. Harry Reed throws the ball away. And that will be, looks like Coach Hunt was trying to say he hit it, but no, they're going to say it's going to be out on dowagiac, back to the Rams.
My AD doesn't buy him.
Rams now with the ball. Down the baseline, they drop it into Palmer. Palmer shovels the feet, drops it off to one of his partners. Ball rolls out of bounds. We'll be back to dowagiac. South Haven with a couple turnovers here is giving dowagiac opportunities to take the lead. Ball now back in play. Winchester Jones with the ball. Joe Wilkins will pick him up. Man-to-man. Winchester Jones now at the three-point line. Crossover, kick out. Sullivan into the lane. Kicks it up to Harry Reed. Harry Reed now goes in the lane. Kicks out to Winchester Jones as he comes across the lane. Here's a three by Sullivan and a miss. Joe Wilkins with the ball. And we got a whistle. Ball out of bounds. Leroy Lewis will look to come in as a substitution for dowagiac, as well as South Haven making some substitutions. Winchester Jones will come out and have a seat. Also in for dowagiac, Bucamore. He comes into the tables and makes his way in for Sullivan. On the court for dowagiac, Blackamore, Hunt, Reed, Lewis, Bucamore.
Come on, man. You can't leak over there. You got to get the middle.
South Haven with the ball. Outside, back and forth game between Spencer Adams and Joe Wilkins. Looking for something inside. Finally, Spencer Adams dribbles top of the key, drops it down to the elbow. Back out to Adams, and they circle it over to Wilkinson, who goes inside the lane. They gets a nice pick. Off the glass for two, 43-40. Leroy Lewis bounce pass inside. Nobody was home. Picked up by South Haven on the break. Off the glass, no. South Haven there to get their own rebound, and we've got a whistle and we've got a foul. Darian Gist inside works the moves, and he'll be at the line to shoot two at 2:09. dowagiac leads by 3. That's a foul on Adrian Bucamore. That's his second personal foul. That's the team's first foul of the half. 2 team fouls for the Rams at 2:09 third quarter. South Haven good on that first free throw, leads 44-40. Ball in air, rolls around, no. Picked up by Blackamore, up to Harry Reed. Harry Reed, right side, will bring the ball down the court. They trap Harry Reed. Harry Reed skip court pass as Leroy Lewis goes up and gets the ball and gets knocked into. And that'll be a foul, loose ball foul. Foul on Spencer Adams. That's a second foul. That's a timeout here. I think it's a good timeout, 30-second timeout by dowagiac. Coach Hunt wanted to talk a few things over. Has a unique personnel on the floor, perhaps looking to set up some plays here, looking for a little offense. At 2 minutes in the third quarter, dowagiac finds himself down by 4 with the ball out of this timeout. Perhaps looking for that high-quality shot. I was mentioning earlier is that substitutions by the South Haven Rams seem to be coming in bunches. Whenever there's a stoppage of play, seems like they trickle in one person at a time and kind of take their time getting into the game, perhaps. Some would say maybe a strategy to slow the game down just a little bit, cause people to stop and look. dowagiac now with the ball, triggers it in to Jamin Hunt. Jamin Hunt at the free throw line, look for the pick and roll by Adrian Bucamore, was not there. South Haven able to recover and get in the lane, and they pick the ball off. Now they're going to be on the run. South Haven with the ball at the elbow. Here's a shot, back rim, no. Picked up by Bucamore, good rebound. Gets it ahead to Leroy Lewis. Leroy Lewis on the alley-oop, no. Ball was thrown a little bit too far in front of Keontae Blackamore, and he rolls out of bounds. It'll be back to the Rams. A couple turnovers here, costly turnovers by dowagiac. Unforced turnovers down the court, and those unforced turnovers are really what sometimes can hurt you when you got yourselves a close game. And friends, we will have close games here as we get into the playoffs. South Haven with the ball, just all the way down the court. Drops it off, and that's 2 points for South Haven. They'll come in to steal the ball, up and off the glass for 2, and a foul. South Haven with a couple steals, lead 48-40, and they'll be at the line for the three-point play. Wilkins. A couple lazy passes by dowagiac. Sullivan will make his way back into the game. Buchmore will come out. On the court for dowagiac, Harry Reed, Leroy Lewis, Jamin Hunt, Blackamore, and Sullivan as Wilkins now extends that lead by 9. Blackamore with the ball back to Harry Reed, right side. Harry Reed gets a pick from Blackamore, goes left. Now circles back, reverses to right, bounce pass into Blackamore. Down the baseline, gets it out to Leroy Lewis for 3. That's going to be strong off the back of the rim. Picked up by the Rams. Rams now on the break. Palmer all the way inside. Armani May misses a shot. Ball in the air, and we got ourselves a whistle and a foul. And the South Haven Ram faithful coming over, and they're letting their South Haven Rams know how much they appreciate the play. South Haven finishing that third quarter strong. Armani May will be at the line to shoot 2 here. And bounces one off the side at 49-40. Armani May with the second one in the air, and he makes good. Leroy Lewis on the inlet pass. Drops it back off to Blackamore. Blackamore picks up the dribble at the three-point line, gives it to Winchester Jones, who checked back into the game. Winchester Jones dribbles left, dribbles right, comes back top of the key. He'll set up the offense. Over to Leroy Lewis for 3. Back rim, no. Picked up long rebound by Sullivan. Drops off the hands of Blackamore up to Harry Reed at the top of the key for 3. Side of the rim, no. Picked off. Block. Put back. Blackamore can't finish. Picked up by the Rams. dowagiac with opportunity, cannot finish it. And Blackamore comes up and fouls. 50-40 now. The South Haven Rams up by 10. Checking in for the game is Mac Charles on that loose ball foul. They're going to give him a clear path. Foul. Boy, I thought we had defenders down. But they're going to say that he had clear path and that Blackamore just reached down and grabbed him. It's an interesting call. Maybe it's if you break past your defender and you reach out and grab him. I thought if you had defenders down that it wasn't clear path, but I'll have to check up on the ruling of that. But they do give South Haven 2 free throws, and he makes good on both. Spencer Adams, so the Rams right now with a 12-point lead. Mac Charles will be in. On the inbounds pass, we got another whistle and a foul. As Darian Gist gets a step on the Chieftains. Goes up with a left hand. He'll be at the line to shoot 2. I'm going to say that it was not on the act of shooting, that it was on the ground at 9.6 seconds, and they lost the ball out of bounds. Now they're going to let the officials hear it on that one. dowagiac with the ball, 9.5 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Winchester Jones drops it off to Leroy Lewis. Leroy Lewis back to Winchester Jones. 2, 1, kick out. Sullivan, Charles, 3, no. Time runs out. The Rams lead by 12, 52-40. We'll take a timeout back here on dowagiac Chieftain Sports Radio. WGTO will be back.
dowagiac IT3 at 146 South Front Street in beautiful downtown Dowagiac is your one-stop for all your computer needs, questions, repairs, and service. They offer a wide range of surveillance services, products, installations, and more at prices you can't afford. dowagiac IT3, also a distributor and agent for many cell phone providers. Check out the new Red Pocket mobile system, pay-as-you-go plan starting at $29.95, and all are unlimited talk and text. So let's review here. Computers, surveillance, cell phones, sales, service, plans, and advice. Seems dowagiac IT3 has you covered with all your electronic needs and services. Tribal and senior discounts, and you still have the same courteous staff to serve you. dowagiac IT3. They're your friends in the computer and surveillance business. dowagiac IT3, 146 South Front Street. Call 269-462-9040. Check out our website for links to the WGTO Weather Eye provided by dowagiac IT3.
Back here in Dowagiac, Chieftains find themselves in a little bit of a hole here to start the fourth quarter. Both teams scored 15 points that third quarter, but the South Haven Rams had outscored Dowagiac 18-12 the second quarter. Winchester Jones now with the ball. Drops it off to Sullivan. Sullivan now to Lewis. Lewis comes up on a weave, gets a pick from Matt Charles back to Winchester Jones. Winchester Jones goes left side. Back to Sullivan. Sullivan to Winchester Jones. A little two-man game out there. Winchester Jones all the way down the court in the lane. They're going to say a foul on the floor. Winchester Jones, I think, has got his mind made up. I'm taking it to the rack. He kind of seen the eye of the tiger, so to speak, and said, I'm going to get this ball into the hole and carry the team as he heads into the lane. Pretty evident that he was looking to get something going. I like the tenacity there. Ball inbounds. Winchester Jones on the side for three. No. Dowagiac cold from the outside right now. Not able to hit from behind the arc as South Haven now will get the ball down the court. Ball is put back into, one official called the backcourt violation, and another official says that he got a push from behind. Got bumped a little bit. Not for sure if it constitutes a foul for the type of calls that they've been having tonight, but that's the way it goes for Dowagiac. South Haven now will line up in the out-of-bounds play as Gist will trigger it in. He does finally get it into Palmer, who drops it off for Mahoney. Mahoney now with the ball, right side, picked up by Harry Reed. Drop it over to Armani May. Drives into the lane and kicks it out. Spencer Adams takes off in the lane, misses. Palmer now with the ball. Armani May over the top of the back of Dowagiac, and they're going to say jump ball. So Armani May goes over the top of Leroy Lewis.
Hey, if you box out, you don't have to worry about that.
52-40, just underway, fourth quarter of this contest. Ball is triggered into play. Spencer Adams back over to the left side of Darian Gist. It goes baseline, gets a bump. They drop it down on the low block for Armani May. He works some magic inside, puts the ball up, though. Rebound, though, by the long arms of Deshaun Palmer. He'll put back the block. No, he misses again. Another block. No, but finally put back in by Armani May. Dowagiac triggers the ball in right away, and then Brennan Winchester Jones accelerates past his defender and drops it in for two. 54-42. Matt Charles with the steal. Give it up to Harry Reed. Harry Reed at the three-point line for three. Back rim, no. Ball gets poked around. Palmer now on the run. Gets the long-armed rebound. Drops it over the top to Gist. Gist now blocked by Sullivan. Ball gets poked back. Ball's on the ground. Loose ball picked up finally by Armani May for the Rams. Gonna reset the offense. Mahoney now drops it off to Adams. Adams gets it down on the low block. Palmer, they rotate the ball back to the top of the key. They're gonna rotate it back on the other side to Armani May. No, they're not. Instead, Mahoney takes a shot himself inside the lane and misses. Dowagiac now on the fast break. Matt Charles up off the glass, misses. Bounce pass, top of the key. Here's a three by Reed, not able to finish. Harry Reed's been cold tonight. Had the shots, had the looks. We've got a whistle and a stoppage of play. Timeout by South Haven. That's a full timeout. We're going to take a timeout here. dowagiac with the opportunities, not able to complete. Long shot not falling for him tonight. We'll be back in just a moment.
If you measure success by longevity, then Judd Lumber Building Supply and Rental Center should be right on top. dowagiac was 11 years old, not even a village, when in 1859, Judd Lumber was there to help build what we now call a city. Still at 101 Robinson Street, Judd offers building supplies, rental equipment, and a great knowledgeable staff to serve you. Have events planned, reunions, weddings, or something outside? See them first for your tents, tables, chairs, or even a bouncy house. How was your winter last year? Warm enough? Maybe it's time to check out the insulation in your attic, and then check out the prices at Judd before you get caught out in the cold this year. From do-it-yourselfers to major contractors, see Judd Lumber for all your project needs, whether it's nails, tarps, tools, decks, kitchens, bathrooms, paints, brushes, sprayers, heating and cooling, and electrical. Call 269-782-5134 or visit the showroom at 101 Robinson Street. Like us on Facebook and visit online at www.juddlumber.com. Judd Lumber, proud sponsors of dowagiac Chieftains.
And the dowagiac Chieftains, although we're proud sponsors of them, do find themselves down right now by 12 at 5:39 in the fourth quarter. South Haven does have the ball. Mahoney now, they're going to put the press on, 2-2-1 press. They finally get it to the middle of the court. Gist able to get it back down the court, and they break down the press off the glass for two as South Haven, 56-42 is Leroy Lewis now with the ball, pulls back up, drops it off to Winchester Jones. Kick out, Mac Charles for three. Back rim, no, he doesn't hit anything. Picked up by Sullivan. Sullivan to Winchester Jones. That ball is short, falls in the hands of Mac Charles. Gets it blocked. Reed, foul. dowagiac playing tough. Good defense by South Haven. And South Haven will bring another substitution in. Rotating people in. It's also going to bring Blackamore. Blackamore will be at the scores table to check in as well. Harry Reed at the line. 5:05 fourth quarter. Harry Reed, the sure-handed Harry Reed, misses the first shot. Right now on the night with 3 points early in the contest, has not been able to find the stroke and the range. He'll be at the line to shoot the second one, makes good on the second shot. South Haven with the ball as they bring it into play. Ball's thrown over the top. Armani May off the glass for two. They break down the press and they make dowagiac pay, 58-43. dowagiac with the ball. Sullivan back to Harry Reed, goes baseline, push off, gets some separation. They drop it back to Leroy Lewis. It goes into the lane, off the glass for two, hits the deck. Nothing called. South Haven picks the ball back up, and they're going to head back down the court. Joe Wilkins drops it off to Mahoney. Inside as they kick out to May. He's going to shoot that outside chip shot. No. Rebound by South Haven. They're going to reset the offense. Joe Wilkins. Mahoney to Wilkins. At 4 minutes left to go in the quarter, they kick it out. And drive penetration by Darian Gist. Misses a shot and ball rolls out of bounds back to dowagiac. South Haven faithful starting to fire up a little bit. Feel like maybe the game's within the reach of South Haven. I'll tell you something right now, dowagiac is not going to go away, but they do need to get hot from the outside. Still got a whole entire second half of the fourth quarter to play at 4:04. dowagiac does find themselves down 58-43. Winchester Jones, stutter step, spin, good. 58-45. South Haven with the ball. Mahoney with it down the right side. Now South Haven starting to slow down just a little bit. Maybe trying to run a little time off the clock against dowagiac. Drop it off to Jeffries. Adams back over. Ball rolls out of bounds. Pops all the hands of Jerome Mahoney. Costly turnover back to dowagiac, 58-45. Triggered in. Here goes Harry Reed. Streaks up the court past the timeline. Gives it up to Adrian Bucamore for three. Good. Adrian Bucamore for three. 58-48. Dowagiac now down by 10. South Haven with the ball. Skip court pass over to the side. Mahoney now. They work the ball on the outside. Joe Wilkins. Here's a steal by Leroy Lewis. Leroy Lewis all the way down off the glass for two. Good. Dowagiac now 58-50, down by 8. 3 minutes left to go in the game. Drop it off to Spencer Adams. Ball gets poked away and tipped last by Dowagiac as it hits the support beam back behind the rim. So touched last by Dowagiac. It'll be back to South Haven with a near steal on the inbounds pass. 8-point game, 2:57 left to go. We've got ourselves a great contest tonight. Spencer Adams will trigger in along the baseline. Crowd going crazy tonight. They move it ahead to Mahoney. Mahoney with the ball inside the lane. Bounce pass underneath with the reverse left-handed. Good. Got the friendly bounce with Deshaun Palmer. 2:44, 10-point lead. Dowagiac with the ball. Winchester Jones right side. Winchester Jones pulls up a long three. Back rim. No. Armani May with a tough rebound. Gets it in the hands of Joe Wilkins. Ball gets streaked down the court, and Dowagiac comes up with a steal. Pushes ahead to Blackamore off the glass for two. Now it's an 8-point game again at 2:22 left to go in the game. South Haven with the ball, break down the press. They kick it outside. Good patience by Armani May, but here's a steal, poked away. Now they're going to say that Harry Reid poked it out of the way. Coach Hunk pleading the case, thought that maybe last touch by the Rams, but the officials see it another way at 2:07. Dowagiac leads by 8. South Haven will line up for the inbounds pass. Ball comes into play in the backcourt by Jerome Mahoney as he drops it off to Wilkins. Wilkins now down the lane, but he pulls back. Bounce pass to May. Top of the key. Here's a three by Mahoney. Good. Leroy Lewis gets a bump, and we've got a foul, and it's good on a three-point play. .145 left to go in the contest. This place is electric. I have not heard the gymnasium of Dowagiac this loud in a long time. This is a great game tonight. 63-54. Leroy Lewis at the line, fighting and drops it in. Good, and that's a timeout by Coach Dana Hunt. At 1:45, calls a full timeout. We'll be back here on WGTO in just a moment.
For over 50 years, Osra Equipment and Supply Company has been a leader in selling agricultural equipment in Southwest Michigan, right here in Dowagiac at 30155 Yaw Street. They are now a full-line servicing dealer of Husqvarna outdoor power equipment. Everything you need for your lawn or garden is now in one location. Need to get your leaves in a pile? Well, they've got a pile of leaf blowers in stock at Osra Equipment and the premixed fuels and oils you need to run them. Right now, but for a limited time, purchase a new qualifying gas chainsaw or gas blower and receive a limited edition hat, 3 cans of Husqvarna XP Premix Fuel, and an additional 2-year warranty for a total of 4 years. Think you'll get a better deal at a big box store? Well, you need to think again, because they also service what they sell, and they keep a large inventory of parts that fit your needs. So stop down and give them a try. Located at the end of Yaw Street past the ball fields, or turn north on California Road off M62. Call 782-7178. Osra Equipment, cheering on the Chieftains for football and basketball.
Man, we're cheering on the Chieftains tonight. The home crowd is. The visiting crowd cheering on the Rams tonight. Great game tonight. Dowagiac now finds themselves down by 8 with 1:45 left to go in the fourth quarter. South Haven with the ball. Long pass. It's going to go way long. Doesn't touch anything. It'll go back to Dowagiac all the way back on the other end of the court because it never made it to inside the field of play, and that's a turnover with no time taken away. That's probably the best play you can come out, coach, and call. Chieftains with the ball, down 8, 1:45 in the fourth quarter. Ball is triggered in. Leroy Lewis, and a foul. 1 second rolls off, and Leroy Lewis will go to the line on the inbounds pass, and they'll put up Now dowagiac has to step up at the charity stripe and drop these shots in. Leroy Lewis has been pretty good tonight. 63-55, 1:44 left to go in the game. Leroy Lewis. Good on the first. Net. Has another one coming. (63-56). Once again, just 1 minute, 44 seconds. Ball gets poked around, misses. dowagiac on the fast break, able to pick up the ball. Bounce pass on the inside, on the reverse. Blackamore, good. 63-58, 1:34. South Haven with the ball on the inlet pass. dowagiac standing on their feet tonight. South Haven, they give it up. Keep away. dowagiac's down by 5. Drive penetration by Mahoney, drops it off for Palmer on the low block. Nothing there, double teamed. Get it outside to Mahoney. Mahoney's content. Dribbling this game out, 63-58. Armani May with the ball. And we've got a travel violation. Unforced turnover back to dowagiac at 1:02 left to go in the game. Down 5 points in the fourth quarter. Coach Larry Ash is livid on the sidelines, and he's yanking out one of his players. dowagiac will trigger it in on that turnover. With 1 minute to play, 58-63. Winchester Jones with the ball. Picked up by the Rams. Leroy Lewis on the kick ball. Picked up by South Haven. And we got a foul as Brandon Winchester Jones hits the deck on the spin move. Looks like he came in, lost control, at least his footing. Hits the deck, no foul called. And that'll be the 16th foul for dowagiac. dowagiac has 1 foul to give before they're in the bonus here at 49.9 seconds. South Haven with the ball. Darian Gist was going to trigger it in, but we've got a timeout on the floor. In dowagiac, we're going to stay right here. It was a flurry of plays here as the Chieftains, down 5, had an opportunity to perhaps cut into that lead and make it a 1-score game. They lose control of the ball, and as the ball was popped loose, they try to work it back inside, and the pass was just a little bit too low. Went off the foot of dowagiac and squirted out, and basically it was a foot race from there, and South Haven had the step. They grabbed the ball. Keontae Blackamore's forced a foul. That'll be a 16 foul for dowagiac, and so South Haven will have the ball out. So South Haven will trigger the ball, and I would look probably for maybe Coach Hunt at 49.9. I don't know if he wants to play the 1-and-1 game yet or not. He does have a foul to give. Perhaps go for the steal and foul quickly. You're running out of time here, down 5. But you got to get the rebounds. Spencer Adams will trigger it in as South Haven will line up for the pass. They do get it in. Deshaun Palmer drops it right back off to Adams. Adams now gets double teamed, and we've got a jump ball. Possession error goes back to dowagiac. Spencer Adams just kind of wraps his arms around it, was hoping for the foul call. And we've got a jump ball situation. We've got a substitution by the Rams. Darian Gist at 6'2" is going to come in for number 14. Spencer Adams at 5'11", give him a little bit more on the backboard. Winchester Jones all the way down, hits the deck again, but nothing called. Ball gets turned over back to the South Haven Rams. The Rams now with the ball, and they're going to come down, and we've got a foul. That's going to be a bonus, 1-and-1. So at the line, kind of what I anticipated happened at 28.2 seconds. It's been that last 20 seconds, we had opportunities. We had 2 opportunities to go in there and score and make this a 1-point game, just not able to complete the shot and the play. Ball rolls off. We get another break. Dowagiac now with the ball. 5 seconds down by 5. Leroy Lewis with the ball. Kick out. Bucamore. No. Harry Reid. Harry Reid fakes right, goes left. 3-point shot, back rim. Gets his own rebound. Nice follow-up. Gives it over to Winchester Jones at 10 seconds left to go. Winchester Jones pulls up for 3. Good. Timeout, Dowagiac down by 2 with 6.1 seconds left to go in the game. Winchester Jones drops in the tray. Wow. Wow. Wow, I just had to stop for a moment there. I was talking to one of my friends that comes out to visit, Ike. He's a retired referee. I always go to him for those kind of questions. Hey, Ike, what do you think about this game tonight? And I was talking to him a little bit earlier in a timeout, and he said, he says, I've been referee for quite a few years, but when I watch this game tonight, these officials, there's 3 of them, they have got their work cut out. It is a very difficult game to call because of the absolute quickness of 2 excellent teams on the court. I will have to say the officiating crew, as always, tonight have doing an excellent job. It's a tough job when you got 2 teams like this. Plays could have went either way. Calls could have went either way. But they've been consistent. You may not like the way they call it, but they're consistently calling it. And then as a player, you just have to adjust. But, they're letting them play tonight, and boy, has it been entertaining. 63-61. Dowagiac with 7.6 seconds left to go in the game finds himself down 2. South Haven Rams will get the ball. They'll trigger it in along the baseline. Darian Gist will trigger it along. He's got the length of the baseline to work. Looking for something, throws it over the top, and the ball is tipped out but unable to be picked up by Dowagiac and all the way down the court. 2 points for South Haven. A near steal by Dowagiac. A couple players of Dowagiac collide. Both of them going to the ball. One of those fluke plays, either one of them could have came up with that steal at midcourt, but they bump into each other. They had the ball in the hand, and it squirts away into the hands of the South Haven Rams. Rams come down, lay it off the glass for 2, and get an opportunity for a 3-point play. Blackamore had tried to come up, or check that, that's Harry Reid, tried to come up and stop him from making that score to put him at the line at least, and he scores, and now 3-point play for Jerome Mahoney, and he does convert at 4.1 seconds left to go. 5. And that'll be the game, folks. 66-61, and South Haven triggers the ball in, or Dowagiac trickles the ball in, but they have run out of time. And the student section for South Haven is absolutely excited, and they are celebrating at the center.